All right, we're going to be talking about starting your application with an airline. In a couple videos previously, I talk about how you find the airline's application. You do not need to pay anybody to apply for an airline. If you are paying somebody to apply for an airline, that is a scam. You should not be paying for anything. Applying to an airline as a flight attendant is free. Once you find the airline, you're going to start the application process. And there are going to be questions, and all airlines do this. There are going to be questions you need to answer. And if you don't answer these correctly, you're going to be kicked out right away. Prior to that, you're going to want your resume ready, and that's a whole another video, but we're going to just talk about the questions first. There are going to be several questions. Now, we're talking about applying for airlines in the United States. So we're not talking about Emirates. We're not talking about any airline that is out of country. We're going to talk about United States only. So if you are looking for out of country information, I don't have that information. I don't have the knowledge to guide you. Some of the things I might say might help you with that, but I don't know. I just know US airlines. There's going to be several questions. First, they're going to ask you if you are a resident or if you're a legal resident or visa, passport. I really should look it up. But basically, if you do not have a work visa to work in the US, they are not going to sponsor you to work in the US. So if you live here and you're in the process of getting a work visa, you have to get that on your own and have it all ready before you can do it. The second question they're going to ask, there's several questions, but these are two important ones. The second one they're going to ask is, are you willing to relocate? It's a hard question for some people because you got to look at it in a way that you're answering honestly. If you are not willing to relocate and you say no, they are not going to even look at you because they need people at their bases, in their bases. You might have heard that people commute. As a commuter, when I say I'm willing to relocate, am I lying? Because I'm not going to relocate my whole family to whatever base I'm at, but I will relocate myself, which means if I need to get a crash pad at a base that I don't live at, I will do that and I will relocate myself and commute home to visit my family, if that makes any sense. Relocating doesn't mean you have to prove that you are moving to the base. Now I've heard, I don't know this for sure, but there are some airlines, they want you to live there. Now, I believe there's an airline, I think it's Allegiant, where they only do like turns, like day turns. You're working every day and you're just doing turns and a turn is where you go somewhere and you come back same day, you go home, and then you do it again the next day. You obviously cannot commute home for that. They want you to live in base. I don't know all the rules for everybody, but I do know that for at least most of the carriers that I know of, like Delta, American, United, I believe JetBlue, I'm not sure about Frontier, but a lot of people, Alaska, a lot of people commute to get to their bases. When they answer yes, are they willing to relocate? You're not saying you're going to relocate your whole household. You're relocating yourself. So make sure you answer yes. And I highly encourage you, please read the questions carefully. Because if you read it wrong and you answer it incorrectly, you will also be booted off. So especially when they're talking about arrests, drug, everything, read it carefully, make sure you know what they are asking so you don't answer incorrectly and then you are no longer a candidate.